Hello friends, my name is Syahidah and it's currently 8 a.m. The weather outside is just like cool, dark, grey and miserable, which is kind of reflection of my mood today, to be honest. So I have no other plans to do, and it's gonna be just like the other day, spent alone, and sometimes it worse. It's been day just like light out and blinds down. It's just like lifeless anyways. So it has been long time staring at screen all days, working and not able to meet friends and socialize with them during the weekend. Sometimes I need someone to help me to feel motivated and encouraged in my study instead of loading a lot of assignment with the reason that I only sit at home and doing nothing. So that is what I want to express myself, what I feel during the online classes at home during the MSO. So I hope you understand what I mean.
Okay, first of all, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. The healthy person is the person who recognize their abilities and they are able to cope with the normal stresses of life, and they can work productively, and also they can make a contribution to their communities. However, there are many people that suffer from mental illness, mental disorder, or mental health problem. Mental health issue is now being widely discussed among the scholars. During these exceptional times of pandemic, many of us confront with psychological problems that related to isolation, loneliness, anxiety, frustrations, depressions, insecurities, fears, worries, and many more. This the person that did not have the balance between their physical development, emotion development, spiritual development, and also the social development. The mental disorder or mental illness can caused by many factors like stressful life situation. For example, the financial problems, the loved one death or a divorce, the traumatic experience, the body shaming or workload among the students nowadays, and also the childhood history of abuse or being neglected. Mental health issue or mental illness is a leading cause of the disabilities. Untreated mental illness can cause several emotional or behavior and also the physical health problems. For example, it can cause the unhappiness or decrease the enjoyment of the life, and it also can cause the family conflict, social isolations, and the problems with alcohol or drugs or tobacco, and legal and financial problems, and also can lead to the poverty and homelessness, and also self-harm or harm to others, including the suicide or homicide.
Assalamualaikum. Recent changes on study platforms due to pandemic coronavirus in fact affected students' mental and emotional well-being. The issue about mental health is quite taboo among the society. It seems to be a weakness to some people. Hence, most of the people and students who suffer from mental health prefer to hide it from everyone and act like there is no problem. This, in result, makes their mental well-being worsening. Besides that, mental health issues are being considered a negative perception that created prejudice, which leads to stereotype and discrimination among a group of people. It is challenges because even though society and university have initiated counseling and mental health therapy to students and promising of privacy safety, not many students are determined to take that initiative. They are afraid that they may be excluded from their existing circle of friends or society if they find out. In contrast, by having positive mental health, it allows lecturers and students to maximize their full potential, endure with the stresses of life, work effectively, create a productive environment and teamwork, and produce a better performance in study and learning. To sum up, priority and concern should be taken to mental health and well-being to enhance individual potential and optimize work performance.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So today, I am Siti binti Sahrani will explain about what is the main factors that lead university students into the mental illness and some recommendation for this issue. So, according to a survey that we observed, there are 6 top factors of this matter decrease significantly. So firstly, new assignments and tasks on final weeks. Secondly, excessive workload. Thirdly, internet connection. Fourthly, group member assignments. Fifthly, family matters. And lastly, uncomfortable learning facilities at home. So, based on the findings and conclusion in this study, the following recommendations are made in order to help the person with mental health problems get better. Okay, number 1, family roles. Family roles. The family members should play their role to be educated about their mental illness. They can focus more on their prevention on mental health rather than their family matters that could contribute to the mental health becoming worse. Next, parents can provide online learning facilities. For example, unlimited internet quota, study table, A4 papers, printer, and private room. Parents can give their children personal support. For example, family members sharing ideas and advice and talk about things in positive way, not judgmental. University also can offer an event for students and parents such as parent preview days, special session to improve their knowledge of service on campus for students with previously having a chronic medical condition or mental illness. So, what can faculty and staff do to decrease this mental illness issue in university? Firstly, all faculty and staff should have a basic knowledge of early warning signs of mental illness, when and how to refer students to counseling service or other campus resources. It is important for lecturers or teachers to have a deep understanding the interests and learning styles of the students to create a harmonious learning environment. The faculty also can promote the social connectedness between senior and junior. The department also can spread awareness through some activities, talk, and webinar. Faculty mentors may also be available to support students virtually, for example, during the USRA session. Lastly, what can university do in order to decrease this problem or matters? Firstly, universities must be prepared to identify major student problems for which the problem puts students at risk for becoming depressed. Faculty members and administrators can use the principle of active listening with any students that having a problem with their mental illness. University must also consider the suggestion and proposal brought by the students' representatives after knowing the main causes of mental health issue. For example, extend the revision weeks period in a week or separated between the Eid break and middle semester break. University can provide tips and suggestions to parents and family on how they can recognize if their children are having a bad mental illness and provide the best support for their children. Thank you.
I'm angry, I'm depressed, I'm anxious. No, mental health is not going good.
Also ich war sehr oft traurig, muss ich sagen.
Ich bin depressiver geworden. Ich war jetzt selber auch in Quarantäne und das hat das alles noch sehr verstärkt.
Einsam, ja, oft sehr traurig. Schlafen kann ich auch nicht mehr gut.
Poor mental health of university students has been reported in many countries, commonly recording high rates of depression, anxiety, and high stress. Good mental health is related to higher functioning and achievement, while poor mental health is related to lower productivity and poorer attainment. The rate of Malaysian students who suffer from mental health problems doubled in less than a decade, 10% in 2011 to 20% in 2016. For example, approximately 30% of medical students in Malaysia reported high prevalence of stress associated with depression and anxiety. Today, approximately 30% of people in Malaysia aged 60 years old or older have mental health problems, and students' low help seeking was considered to undermine their poor mental health even further. 10 to 35% of people in Malaysia who could not benefit from mental health support were not receiving support. Poor mental health itself is a serious issue. However, it can lead to other diverse problems. For example, it is associated with reduced academic achievement and professional development, lead to interpersonal conflict, sleep disturbance, low concentration, poor decision making, which is resulting feelings of inadequacy. In this study, a total of 40 responses were received. The demographic characteristics of the respondents are shown in Table 1. This survey completed the self-reported measures about mental health issues and factors among IIUN students. This result contributed to existing research on academic stress and academic workload. The respondents who are students of IIUM felt a significant level of frustrations, pressure, and stress from challenges as well as a heavy academic workload. Many had successfully used their preferred coping mechanisms such as music, sports, and shopping as ways to reduce the stress and achieve a fair to excellent mental health. These results might help to better understand the phenomenon of emotional instability among undergraduates. Early recognition of depression, anxiety, and stress level and problems are essential as to offer treatment to those who are affected.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Natasha binti Muhammisa. For my part, I will present to you about mental well-being related to Sustainable Development Goals, SDG. So let's begin. So, regarding the issue of sustainable development that we choose is student mental well-being, it can relate with one of the Sustainable Development Goals, which are SDG 3, good health and well-being. Good health is very important to sustainable development and the 2030 agenda. Goal 3 refers specifically to mental health and drug abuse, which is concerned with ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all people of all ages. Target 3.4 requires countries to, by 2030, reduce by 1/3 mortality rates from non-communicable illness through prevention and treatment, and enhance mental health and well-being. The SDGs give a rationale and a framework for identifying mental health from a variety of perspectives with increased seriousness. Furthermore, to achieve the goals, collaboration across sectors and specialties will be required, similarly promoting excellent mental health and well-being for everybody. The solution will not be found alone in the health sector. The final goal of the SDG is to ensure good partnerships. Civil society, the private sector, governments, and non-governmental organizations are all partners in the fight against mental illness. Lessons learned from these partnerships may be applied to the entire SDG agenda. It also can relate to the 5 principles of Maqasid Syariah, which is the protection of intellect or hifzil al-aql. Mental health is one of the 5 essential necessities of human existence. One cannot have an honorable life or live in peace and security if his mind is not preserved. Certain activities have been obligated and prohibited by Islam to protect the intellect. For example, it has mandated salat and the pursuit of knowledge. It has forbidden intoxicants, and everything that impairs or has a negative influence on the mind is sobriety. In the Quran, in ayah 19 until 91. That's all from me. Thank you.